How did you get out? Huh? I had you upstairs in my room. Come on. I think that means you need to go potty or eat or something. Come on. Go back down to your space. Jeez. Hi guys, it is a beautiful spring day in Duluth, Minnesota. I haven't vlogged in forever and, you know, I'm gonna be honest, it's been work. Like, I've literally been at work most of my time. I haven't been able to do much because shortly after me and Nick broke up, I mean, obviously I was dealing with that. I still am to a point, but I'd rather just keep that off the vlogs until, like, I have something more productive or more positive to say about it. Like, we're still friends or whatever, but we haven't really hung out. We went to Northern Invasion May 13th and 14th, which was fun. So here are some pictures for that. And that was kind of that was the last time me and him had hung out. We had a good time and everything, but it still was kind of painful. We did have a talk alone because he brought a friend and I brought a friend, so it wouldn't be awkward because me and him were supposed to go alone. But that's when me and him were dating, so then when we weren't sure if we were ever gonna go, and they were like, why not? We already bought the ticket, so he brought a friend, I brought a friend. Everything turned out, it was a really fun weekend, and I want to go next year as long as the lineup's good. But, yeah, shortly after that, two of my managers coaxed me into doing overnights for a month, and so I've been doing that. Been working 7 p.m. to 3 a.m. I don't get home till around 3:30, and I usually can't get myself to fall asleep till around 4:30 or 5, and then I'm asleep till noon or 1, and then, you know, I don't really have much time to do anything. Even on gorgeous, awesome days like this, I don't do much because I can't waste my energy like exercising or like hanging out with people. Because right now most of the people I know are actually at work. Either my coworkers or like people outside of work are working right now, so I can't hang out with anybody, which kind of sucks. But literally overnights have been consuming my life for the past month, and finally there's a light at the end of the tunnel. My last overnight is Saturday, and then I'm going to go back to days/evenings. I had to manipulate my schedule a little bit, so I'm gonna always have Sundays and Mondays off, which is nice. I'll have 2 consecutive days off in a row. Tuesdays are gonna be 12 to 8, Wednesday is 10 to 6, Thursday and Friday are 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., and then Saturday is 8:45 to 3, and then, of course, Sundays and Mondays off. So I think that's fair. Won't be too bad. Still getting my hours, still paying bills. Things with the house, well, let's just do this. Yes, I still vlog with the selfie stick. Things in the house have not really changed, if you can't tell. Things between me and my roommate are still shaky, if not worse. It's kind of bullshit, to be completely honest, because I really started thinking about it, and as much money as I put into like my half of the bills, I pretty much just stay in my room because there's no point in me trying to hang out in like this crap. None of it's mine, and it's not fair. Plus me and him don't exactly get along. I try to stay out of his way, and you know, I do my own laundry, I do my own dishes and stuff like that, and I do the yard work, I mow, I take the garbage down every Tuesday night. But there's been a lot of unnecessary drama, and there's been a lot of just crap going on with like me, him, and his girlfriend, and it's dumb. I'm thinking and looking at other places. It's really hard to try to find a place I can afford on my own with like how much I make. So I'm going to try to find a place because at this point, honestly, and baby, come on. And my camera's about to die. Crap. Oh yeah, I'm looking at places, like my own apartments or duplexes or whatever, because it's not worth living here anymore. Things between me and my roommate got a lot worse when me and Nick broke up, and I think it was because my roommate didn't have, like, the threat of my boyfriend at the time, you know, like, defending me or coming over when I needed help or whatever, like he did the time that my roommate accused me of being wasted and making it impossible for me to go to work, or when he yelled at me because I wasn't hand delivering his mail to him, and he was blaming me because he thought we were going to get evicted, and he made it all my fault. And there's been several other times since me and Nick broke up that my roommate has gotten on my last nerve and has either accused me of doing stuff, blamed me for stuff, gotten mad at me for stupid things. And I drew the line recently. It was a few days ago, actually. I think it was Tuesday. It was either Monday or Tuesday, but I think it was Tuesday that when his girlfriend was leaving the house, she went out the back door, and the back door is right where the basement is, and that's where my cats are when, like, I'm asleep or I'm at work. And they had followed her outside, and, you know, in my head, and I ran this by a couple other people, so I know I'm not crazy. If you let somebody else's animal out of the house and you cannot get them back in the house, what would you do? To me, the reasonable thing is, if I can't get somebody else's pet back in the house, I would go back inside, wake their ass up, and tell them, hey, this is what happened, and, you know, go from there. She leaves to go to work or wherever it was she had to go at the time, and messages me on Facebook saying, oh yeah, just so you know, the cats followed me outside. I tried to get them back in the house, but they wouldn't listen to me, so I just left because I had to go, ... So yeah, that happened. That's what she said. Lucky as balls I was waking up, because when I saw that, I never ran downstairs so god fast in my life. I got the cats back in, but that was the last straw. There was no apology. There was no effort made whatsoever. You run your ass back in the house and wake me up. Knocking on my door would have been just fine. Like, you could break down my door if it meant me getting the cats back in the house. If I had lost my cats, or if they had run off, somebody would have had to pay. I would have been heartbroken. That would have been absolutely the last straw. I was so infuriated. I was so scared. And now I can't even trust the safety of my pets in the house. And that is ridiculous. My room is where I spend 3/4 of my day when I'm not, like, in the house, with all the rooms in the house, between the basement, the kitchen, the living room, the bathroom, and my room. My room is where I spend 3/4 of my life in the house. That's sad. And for as much as I pay in rent and electric and heating and internet, I should be able to go wherever the hell I want in this house, do whatever the hell I want in this house, under reasonable circumstances, of course, and not have to worry about me getting in the way or being a burden or, you know, disrupting something. It's like, I'm not the guest in this house. I'm on the lease. And so was my roommate. My roommate's girlfriend, not on the lease. But she doesn't pay anything towards the bills. Money, like the half of the bills I'm paying, are also covering her living here. And that is ridiculous, and it pisses me off beyond all reason. He's not going to change. She's not going to change. Neither of them care what happens to me, my cats, at all in this house. I don't doubt that both of them don't like me at this point, and I don't care because I don't really like them either. There's no mutual respect. There's no mutual concern. My room is probably the cleanest place in this house, next to the kitchen. I'm the one that mows the lawn. I'm the one that brings the garbage cans down every Tuesday night and brings them back up every Wednesday, morning or afternoon, whenever I get around to getting up and bringing it back. I pay my half the bills. I buy my own food. I don't ask them for anything. You know, I don't try to do anything for them or with them. Like, I leave them alone to live their own life, but I can't live my own life without being scared something's going to happen, without it being an inconvenience to them. It's like, no, I'm done. It is so frustrating, and I'm not putting up with it anymore, and I shouldn't be the one that has to leave again. It's f***ing ridiculous that this is probably going to be the second time that I leave, except this time it's on my own free will because I'm so goddamn sick and tired of dealing with all the stress and the drama. But it's getting to the point where being stubborn and trying to stand my ground is not worth it anymore, because it's just not, you know. So I've been looking at apartments, I've been looking at duplexes around in Duluth and even slightly outside of Duluth, and I'm hoping that at some point I can find a place. You know, a place where my cats have access to the whole area. You know, they don't have to be confined in one space, you know, when I'm at work or when I'm sleeping. I don't have to worry about them, you know, getting let loose or following somebody outside, you know, and wandering off or anything like that. Because it's bullshit. I'm tired of it, and I shouldn't have to worry about it. I shouldn't also have to worry about the sanitation and the cleanliness of the house when I can and cannot use the bathroom, when I can and cannot take a shower, when I can and cannot wash my clothes, you know, when I can and cannot be in the living room just because they're there or they're doing something or whatever. It's not fair. It's bullshit. You know, and some people might say, well, why don't you just have a conversation? Because it never works. It always escalates, turns into a fight, even if I'm trying to be as calm as possible, and it's just not worth it anymore. Other than that, how am I doing? Tomorrow is gonna mark 2 months since Nick broke up with me. How is he doing? I think he's doing okay. From it sounds like he's been hanging out with friends, he's been working on his bike, he's been going to work, talking, like, he's met somebody and is talking to her and stuff like that, and am I happy about that? No, it kind of leaves a sting in my chest, because, like, the breakup to me is still too fresh to, you know, just jump into that kind of thing. But I think he's taking it slow and he's not, like, rushing it, which I told him not to. Like, it's not worth jumping into a relationship right after a breakup just to fill that void. I'm dealing with that void and it sucks. I'm doing a hell of a lot better than I did when I posted the fact that we broke up, but that was only like a week in. Tomorrow's going to mark 2 months of being single, and I'm dealing with it a lot better. I still get lonely sometimes. I still miss, you know, just making sure it's still recording. I still miss having that person to cuddle and, you know, call and hang out with and sleep over with, and, you know, having that intimate side to being in a relationship. I do miss all of that a lot, and I miss him. Like, me and him had a really good thing going, and he was an amazing, great guy, but, you know, I did notice that when me and him broke up. I mean, the Northern Invasion concert was completely awesome. We had a good time. Me and him got to talk and clear the air on some things. But after that, I noticed he's been a bit distant. He doesn't really, like, check in or text or anything like that, which is fine. Like, I shouldn't expect him to do that. Like, he's trying to live his own life and move on and stuff like that. And he was never one to really be open about his emotions. So for all I know, he's taking it harder than I think he is, but I don't think he is. I think he's just fine. I've always been the more emotional person. I'm very expressive. I share things, like what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking. I've had a lot of hard nights since the breakup video. A lot of hard nights, a lot of crying, a lot of talking to some of my best friends online, a lot of hard days at work. It doesn't help with all the drama going on here. But then I'd say after the 1.5 month mark hit, I started to just feel a lot better. And I'd say, like, within the last couple of weeks, I've been doing a lot better than I thought I was going to do. But honestly, I just kept having logical conversations with myself, like, you know, why am I feeling like this? Like, is it gonna help anything? Is it gonna make anything better? Like, yes, I'm human and I deserve to process things and deal with them in my own way, but I was dealing with them very self-destructive. And once I kind of checked myself on that, the way I was dealing with things, it got a little bit easier. Started hanging out with some friends more, and just kind of staying busy with work and, you know, yard work, stuff like that, hanging out with my cats a lot more. Been really into, like, video games and stuff, which my AMV Reverted Studios channel will reflect that. But yeah, I'd say overall, like, minus having some hard nights, as in, like, when I'm going to bed, is usually when it kind of hits me and I feel lonely and, like, miss Nick and, you know, the relationships and stuff like that. But during the day I feel fine and I'm able to stay busy with work and it's not so bad. So I feel like I'm definitely at least a little over halfway to feeling better about the whole thing. I don't see the point in hanging on to it because, you know, the relationship is done. It's over. It was an amazing year. It was probably one of the best years of my life. And, you know, I've got vlogs and pictures to reflect that. I don't look at them because I'm not ready to look at them. But I still have them there. They're great memories, and I don't regret a single thing that I've done with Nick. I don't regret anything that I told him. Like, he was an amazing, sweet guy, probably one of the best guys I've ever met in my entire life. And I think that's what makes the whole thing more devastating, is I lost an incredibly amazing, just awesome person. But, you know, like I said, just because you're the right person for, or like just because somebody is perfect for you doesn't mean you're perfect for them. And even though he was perfect for me and he's what I needed and he's what I wanted, I wasn't what he needed. And I guess in the end I wasn't what he thought he wanted. So it ended. I'm not seeing anybody right now. I'm not really talking to anybody right now, like relationship-wise, because I'm still healing, and I don't believe in jumping into a relationship or trying to start a relationship with somebody when you still have that emotional baggage. I want to wait till I completely feel better before I start up a relationship. But I am keeping an open mind. I'm not turning down talking to new people or meeting new people. I'm keeping an open mind, and I think that's probably the best thing. I'm not getting my hopes up, but I'm keeping an open mind at the possibility of other people. But, yeah, it's 6:30. I need to go to work, so I will talk to you guys later.